Hello, welcome everyone to Shut Up and Watch the Movie. I'm Kristina.
I'm Tyson.
And normally, we make each other watch a movie every week. However, the year's coming to an end. 2024, it's been a year,
Wow.
you guys. You know, what a time. The Olympics happened over the summer.
Did
there
they?
was a presidential election in the United States.
Oh
it was a brat summer all across the world.
I feel like I've aged 100 years.
And among all this happening, the greatest podcast in humanity entered the world.
2024 has to be one of the worst years in recent memory. Not because of the podcast. Because of the podcast.
Tyson, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Talk Tua, okay?
Oh.
Thank God what a year for podcasts, am I right?
Yeah, what a great year for podcasts.
Also, we happened to squeak in there.
Yep.
We showed up. We're nothing compared to Talk Tua.
Under the radar.
But, we're here.
Well, you know the thing about the Talk Tua girl? Is she
thing?
Well, she did
didn't she scam do crypto or something?
To be honest, I think the guy probably took advantage of her and probably fed her.
I don't even know what happened.
However, they did run a big crypto rug pull where a ton of people lost a ton of money.
I mean, so it sounds like Talk Tua might be crumbling, and you know what? From the crumbles of Talk Tua, we will rise from the ashes.
We should start Shut Up and Watch Coin.
No, we should not. I
We should enter the crypto market.
No, absolutely not.
We could do NFTs.
You do whatever the hell you want to do in your own time. Do not bring me in on any of that.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, given that the 2024 is going to end, we wanted to have like a little special episode where we kind of talk about our favorite movies this year.
A little end-of-year wrap-up.
Before we get into that, every week we do our teeny tiny little weeny whiny
You sound like you struggled to say it for a second.
Movie corner.
Yep.
Where we talk about a movie that we watched in the past week that we enjoyed.
Yeah.
Maybe give a little recommendation.
We do. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah,
since
you
did
can
the
go.
intro.
I've been talking. Yeah.
I want to preface this by Kristina right before we start. She was like, "I have a really funny way to open up the podcast."
I know. I had thought of that. I thought.
And you threw me for a loop with the Talk Tua.
That was my goal. I was like, people won't see it coming. They're gonna laugh. Ha ha ha.
So I watched. So this technically isn't a movie. However, I need to talk about this. So you know how you saw on the TV the other day me watching this?
Oh, I know what you're gonna talk about. Yeah.
This edgy Pac-Man.
Uh-huh.
So Amazon released some gaming like anthology. It's like Black Mirror, but it's like set in video game worlds. I don't know. I didn't watch the show. I don't give a fuck about anything else in the show. However, they did an episode called Pac-Man Circle, which is like a 10-minute short film, and it's like Pac-Man if it was edgy, and the top letterbox review is Zack Snyder's Pac-Man.
Okay.
So like a guy, I don't even know what he is. He's not like a human, but he's like some kind of figure, and he wakes up in a maze, and there's like a robot like floating around him named Puck. That's Pac-Man. That's Pac-Man in this universe. And it's basically like, if you want to escape this maze, you got to consume. And it makes him kill a bunch of stuff and eat it. And then they reach a ghost, and it's like, you got to eat your demons. And it's like, what? I was like, my mind was like,
was it good?
It was all right. It wasn't like amazing, but
I couldn't tell if you, like, as you were explaining it, I couldn't tell if you liked it or not.
I don't even know how to explain it because I didn't really fully understand what was happening, but it was just like, why'd they do that? I don't know. I guess for the
You're
shock
right.
factor.
I walked in while you were watching it and you like briefly explained. I didn't watch the whole, I watched like 30 seconds of it. The animation looked nice.
No, it's well done. I think Amazon probably put some money into this, but I was just like, it's like, why are we doing edgy Pac-Man? There was a YouTube video, and it stars the guy from Napoleon Dynamite, and I was a stupid ass kid. Like, this was like 15 years ago, and it was like Pac-Man the movie trailer, and it's got the Napoleon Dynamite guy, and he's going around like the city, and he's like wearing a yellow motorcycle suit like Kill Bill, and I don't even know why I fell for this. I was like, oh my god, when's this movie coming out? It was like a fake movie trailer.
But as a kid, you were like, oh, I want to see this.
Someone needs to... I'm surprised we haven't done like a Pac-Man movie.
They'll get around to it.
With the Sonic movie, raking in dollars every single time.
Tyson's really excited about the Sonic movie.
I want to see Shadow the Hedgehog, my favorite, because he cusses and uses guns.
Great.
Okay.
I have no opinion on Sonic.
Let's move on from this.
Great. My pick this week is Hairspray, the John Waters version one. It's
Yep,
1980 something. Not the 2005 or
not
6
the
one.
one you guys have
Not
probably
the-
seen.
The one, like, I grew up with Hairspray. I grew up with that movie. I loved, like, the one with Zac Efron in it and John Travolta plays the mom. I love that movie, okay? I'm a defender of that movie. I love it. I love that musical. It's one of my favorites ever. I'm obsessed with it. And so I, like, recently, a few months ago, I think I actually mentioned this podcast, I went to the Academy Museum and there was, like, this whole big exhibit on John Waters. And I was like, I need to watch some of these.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I didn't even realize, like, Hairspray, I thought it was a stage show first, but no, like, this movie is, like, the original form of, like, the story. However, we went into this movie. And I was like, oh, she didn't sing Good Morning Baltimore. That's weird. And then it keeps going. And I was like, there should be a song at this part too, huh? It's not a musical.
Yeah, well.
And okay, listen. At first I was distraught. So I was like, damn, I just wanted to hear my favorite songs. What's going on? This is ridiculous. However, like, halfway through it won me over. I was like,
it's
okay,
pretty,
you know what, it's okay.
It's pretty good. We watched it.
It like slowly gets crazier and crazier. I think my main takeaway from it was, like, I feel like the musical version has, like, more clear, like, character arcs and, like, the plot is, like, a little bit clearer, but it loses a lot of, like, the John Waters, like, zaniness of it. Like, there's certain aspects of this that it's, like, a lot of the jokes and a lot of the silliness and a lot of the charm, like, it just was not going to be replicated in a more serious version.
Can I give a quick little rundown on John Waters for people?
Go for it.
So John Waters, I guess, I don't even know. He was like a B movie, indie filmmaker, like from the 70s and 80s,
in, like, the 70s,
like really just like down in the dirt kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. He's known for these really gross movies that are just absolutely vile and trash, but extremely funny, and also featuring Divine, the drag queen at the popular drag queen at the time, I assume. And so I guess this is like one of his tamer movies.
Hairspray was, like, I think, like, his first attempt at, like, a wide,
like an actual movie, like a
appeal, like something that like a family could go and see.
Mm-hmm.
I think up to this point you can't be watching all that.
Well, you know what? This movie,
and also this movie, it does get out of pocket. It's
no,
really
it does.
Funny.
It gets out of pocket.
There are some jokes where, like, you can't be saying that anymore, but it's really funny.
But that's what makes it funny. People call him like the person who created camp.
I could see that. This was a very campy movie. We were all, like, bursting out laughing at several points. Like, it's really funny.
A little movie industry fun fact for you that I know.
Oh.
You know, New Line Cinema, the company that distributed this movie, Hairspray, they got started by doing re-releases of Pink Flamingos, one of his first movies.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would, if you like the musical Hairspray, I would say check this out. Don't be surprised when they don't start singing, because I was a little shocked at first, but I got over it eventually.
Well,
it did kind of have to win me over.
It's definitely got its own flavor to it.
It does, yeah. Don't expect the same. I think, like, the basic plot is the same, pretty much.
But they're pretty much almost like completely different entities.
Yes,
I would say.
Yeah, I would say it has a very different vibe.
All right.
Great. So let's get into the meat.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna share our. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1 for our favorite movies of the year. Between 2 and 1, we'll take a little break. We'll have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Tyson and I have not shared these lists with each other, but we're both fairly confident we have the same number 1.
I would.
So
based
we'll
on
probably do that together. But
unless we don't have the same number 1.
I mean, I think that'll be funny if we really confidently say something at the same time and it's not the same answer, and then we'll deal with that as it happens. But I guess, okay, should I start? Should you start with our number 3?
I don't know. Do you feel very passionate about your number 3?
I mean, I like my top 3. They're my top 3 movies of the
I guess
year,
that's
you
true.
know?
I guess that's true. You just go first.
Okay, I will say my number 1. I knew what my number 1 was gonna be. That was clear to me. 2 and 3, I felt like there were, like, 4 movies this year that I was like, honestly, any of those could be 2 or 3. And the 2 that I landed on, I kept going back and forth about which one I wanted to be 2 and 3. Like, I really debated. So
I will say, pretty mediocre year for movies altogether.
I think as a whole, I agree.
I'm not calling out anybody,
and
but...
I'll admit too, the first half of this year, I was pretty bad about going to the movie theater and seeing new stuff. So this is definitely not like an exhaustive. Like, there might be something that I missed out on that could have been one of my favorite movies. You know?
I will say, I kind of had the reverse problem where I kind of started slacking off near the end of the year.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, out of what we've seen, and also, I mean, there's some new stuff coming out in the next few weeks. Personally, I don't think anything that's coming out will make my list, but.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's just a little disclaimer, I guess. We have not seen every single new movie this year. All right.
Let's just get into it.
Okay, my number 3 movie for this year is Sing Sing, which I wasn't sure whether it was included or not, because technically, I guess it was, if you go on Letterboxd, it's a 2023 release, because that's when it started, like, premiering at festivals, but it didn't get, like, an actual, like, theatrical release until this year, so I'm including it.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
I'm gonna say it counts. Yeah, I didn't think you saw this. This is a movie about a group of men at a correctional facility who were in a theater group, and it's like this beautiful, touching story about life, and I feel like it does this really good job. Like, one of the things I really liked about it is, like, it's not focusing on the fact that, like, these guys are criminals, or, like you don't even know any, like, that's not, like, what it's about. It's about them as, like, human beings, and it's, like, really beautiful to see the transformation that they all go through, and, like, just the way it's, like, unexpected of how they handle the situation they're in and how they make, like, light of it and how they're able to, like, connect with one another, like, through art and everything. And one of the things I think is really cool about this movie that I didn't even realize until I saw it was that the main ensemble, you have Coleman Domingo is the main actor in it, and he's incredible. He's gonna get Oscar noms for this, for sure.
Okay.
But the main, like, core group of characters other than him, they're all the real life, like, prisoners that this is about. Like, this is, like, they're basically like, acting out the younger versions of themselves who put on, like, this show that, like, the whole movie's about.
And they do good in it?
They do great. They're fantastic. It's so good. It's so moving. I feel like I'm repeating the same things. But
you mentioned this one on you brought this in for
this was a teeny tiny movie corner pick for me.
You went in person, I think, right?
I did. I went and saw this opening weekend. It was one of those ones that opened early in New York and LA, and there was a Q&A there.
Wasn't Pharrell Williams there? Who was there?
No, John Legend was there.
John Legend.
John Legend was... I just saw him in the lobby. I didn't...
Yeah, no, you didn't talk to him, but I remember...
No, he was at... Oh, there were 2 Q&As happening that night. I don't even think we realized one of them was with John Legend until after we bought our tickets to go to whatever movie it was. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, but then we were like, oh man, like, we picked the wrong one. John Legend's gonna be at the other one. But then we saw him in the lobby. He went to the bathroom. We were like, whoa, it's John Legend.
It's John Legend.
That's crazy. But yeah, no, at the Q&A, it was Coleman Domingo, one of the other actors, probably, like, the second lead in the movie, who is, like, one of the prisoners playing himself. And the director was there, and one of the producers. There was, like, a bunch of the crew there. But yeah, great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I feel like this one's gonna be getting quite a bit of Oscar buzz.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
sounds
great.
good.
It's a very touching movie. I cried. It's kind of I feel like it's a
crier.
It's a crier, yeah.
I wish I had more to add, but I haven't seen it. So.
You haven't seen it. That's okay.
Maybe I will go see it.
That's why I said when we were, Tyson and I, like I said, we didn't reveal the list to each other, and Tyson was like, well, it might be the same. And I was like, well, one of mine I don't think you've even seen, so.
All right. My number 3 is Long Legs.
I was wondering if this was going to be on your list.
Well, it's only because it's like, I wanted to have some horror representation on my top 3, but I was trying to think what was my favorite horror movie of the year. And look, I'm not saying Long Legs is like an amazing, fantastic movie, but I remember being very excited for it, and I remember really liking it. And, you know, I always like that it's a new idea. Yeah. I always like new things versus, like, some sequel. Like, you know, a lot of horror movies were sequels. We got, like, Smile 2, Terrifier 3, Alien Romulus. These were all perfectly fine movies. But, you know, It's
always special to see something original.
I always like seeing something original. You know, I thought Micah Monroe did it. This is written and directed by Osgood Perkins. About to come out with another movie, by the way, in, like, a month.
It's the Monkey movie, right?
The Monkey.
Is it The Monkey?
Sorry, my voice, like, cracked in the middle of that.
Wait, is it The Monkey?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The Monkey movie.
The Monkey movie.
The Monkey
sounds
movie.
So much more silly if you call it The Monkey movie.
It features somebody that, like, he's either, like, a theater person or something, or...
I don't know. But I saw this movie as well.
Oh, yeah, you did. So what do you think of it?
There was so much excitement around it that I had to get up and go see the horror movie in the theater.
The Monkey stars Theo James. Do you like him? I knew it. I knew he seemed like exactly like the kind of person you would love.
I do.
That's why I brought it up.
Here's the thing, I love him, but not compared my two like closest friends. They are obsessed with him. Like, I love him because he's Theo James, but like their love for him goes above and beyond.
Wow.
know?
Well, he's gonna be in this movie.
Wow, that's really exciting. Not really. We're gonna talk about Longlegs.
Yeah. Okay.
that we can look forward to that though. I was just gonna say, yeah, no, I liked how there was so much like the marketing for Longlegs was so good because it was.
I do remember the
there
marketing.
was so much suspense around it. Like, oh my gosh, is Nicolas Cage like actually look that creepy in it? Like,
yeah, they didn't
needed
show his
to go
face.
see. They didn't show his face, and they had that video that like went hugely viral with like Micah Monroe, right? That's her name.
Yeah.
Where like her heart, like it had her heart rate picking up.
Yeah, whatever. Look,
that was good marketing.
that was good marketing.
Because everyone's like, oh my god, he can't be that scary. I have to go see it.
Look. If you've been a horror fan, you've been around the block a couple times with these kind of things. Every other movie is the scariest movie of the year or the scariest movie since, like fucking The Exorcist.
But I don't know. There was something about the way they did it.
Yeah, I know. It was very mystique.
Yes.
There was a lot of...
I will say,
Yeah.
I really, really like the first half
I was
of
about
it.
to say, I remember you did not like the ending.
I think we may have talked about it.
No, I think,
did we
yeah,
talk
maybe.
about it on the podcast?
I don't know.
I don't think we did it on the podcast. I think we
I don't
just
know if
talked
we-
about it over summer when we saw it. But I really, really like the first half of it.
Are we spoiling?
I'm about to say spoilers. Maybe skip ahead like a minute if you don't want to hear. I didn't like when they added in like the supernatural stuff. I wish they would have just kept it as he was like this like creepy, crazy weirdo, and that's why he was doing those things. But like when they added all like I don't remember it very well now, like all the devil stuff, it kind of I still liked it. I still thought it was a good movie, but I was kind of like, I like it less now.
No, but I've always kind of been like, I kind of like that because then it's just like, what, another serial killer movie? And I feel like there's like a ton of those.
But we've talked about this before, but I think it's more scary if somebody's just simply crazy versus like, oh no, it's a demon. Like, that's like, okay.
Yeah, that's the constant struggle.
But that being said, I still liked it. I still thought it was a great movie. I thought Micah Monroe was great, and I don't think I've seen anything else with her. I think that was my first introduction to her, but
yeah,
people love her, and she
yeah, they
seems
do.
great.
And she
good for her.
I'm sure she got a pretty big. I mean, she was already pretty big before that, but I imagine she got a pretty big career boost from that too.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's, I guess, go on to our number 2.
Number 2. You guys, I don't think it'll shock anyone that within my top 3, I'm gonna bring up Wicked.
Oh. How did why did I not even think about this?
Now listen, like I said, I do feel that my number 2 and 3 are kind of interchangeable, and there's even like 1 or 2 other movies this year that could have been in this list. But I was like, if we're gonna be talking, I got some things to say about Wicked. Okay.
Is it really your number 2?
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I'm not saying it's the second best movie of the entire year. I'm saying for me personally and the things that I like and what I enjoy.
Yeah.
I love Wicked.
All right.
Okay?
Fair enough.
I was very excited. Well, actually, I wasn't excited about it. I was very nervous about it going like this whole year, but it's in that sense though, it really was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I was like, I want to see like what this is going to be. I love Wicked. I'm very excited. My like one complaint about this movie.
Okay.
I think we may have talked about it after we went and saw it, but my complaint is that like this is so picky, but like the lighting in a lot of the scenes.
No, I don't think that's picky
there's,
at
like,
all.
A weird glare.
That's what a lot of people are talking about.
Dancing Through Life, I loved. That is a song that like previous to this movie, I really never cared about that song, and like I loved it in this movie, and it was so well done. And like there was Jonathan Bailey did a great performance. There was all this dancing. It was great, but the whole time there's like this weird lighting in the background. And I was like, what? Why? Like,
oh yeah, a lot of people.
Going on?
A lot of people didn't love the cinematography.
A lot of people didn't love it. Now, well, here's the thing though. When I said that to my family, who like are not like big film people, they were like, "Oh, shut up!" They were like, "Get over it. It looked fine." And like, also to like that extent, like if that's my biggest complaint about the movie is that some parts could have been more colorful and the lighting was weird sometimes. Like at the end of the day, that's like not that big of a deal. If I loved everything else about it. I thought the performances were great. I know I mentioned, like, I wasn't really sure about Ariana Grande, but she pulled through. I thought she was awesome.
No, yeah.
Cynthia Erivo was incredible. Like, everybody really did an amazing job.
I would echo a lot of this, but I feel like we also just talked about this verbatim.
Yeah.
So I don't have much to add.
I want to bring it up again. My other thing that I was going to mention, though, is that I think with the director John Chu, who did this movie, he's done a lot of stuff.
Look, man, he did Never Say Never, the Justin Bieber documentary.
He's been around. Okay, he's seen a few things. I think a few years ago he did In the Heights, which is another musical that I love and I'm a very big fan of. And that movie I had kind of mixed feelings about. There were some things that I really, really loved about it. I thought he did really well. Like the musical numbers were all very creative and super cool the way they filmed it. But that one, I don't even know if it was his fault or if maybe, I don't know how this happened, but like they switched around some of the plot points and it made the story so much less impactful that it bothered me.
In the Heights?
Yes, and In the Heights. And I think where Wicked did better than In the Heights was that they really stuck to the material. And like I just think it was a really good adaptation in the sense that like it was true to the material. It didn't try to change it, but it did add to it.
I was about to say,
in a way that like
you can
helped make the story feel fuller, kind of.
There's a lot more you can do, a lot more from like a even like a Broadway production, which has, you know, all kinds of
like
effects.
Limitations.
Yeah, I mean, you still can't have someone like flying around on a broomstick, really. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean they do, but like not like far up in the fucking
not
sky.
Not like hurtling, like
not
flipping over.
Not like Harry Potter fucking Quidditch bullshit. I'm just saying, like, it feels fitting that this has a good movie in the same way that Wizard of Oz is often considered like one of the pinnacles of film.
Wizard of Oz is so colorful.
That's what I'm also. Yeah, no, I know.
Oz, like, this should have been
the
better.
reason whatever. This is just like a cinematography trend.
I would say this is like honestly in a lot of movies nowadays. I know we're focusing in on Wicked right now, but I agree. No, it's like a big thing.
There's
nowadays.
A big problem with how people light digital. And listen, we're about to get a little technical here for a second. Ooh. So if you are just a casual movie watcher, that's fine. I'm not talking to you. But I am.
You can listen.
Yeah, you can listen. Sorry, I don't know why I'm antagonistic. But
don't be pretentious about it.
It's like we don't do fucking 3-point lighting. We don't do like basic. We don't have like a key light. Where we do these very naturalistic lighting setups.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily a problem, but I think it has to fit the movie. I just don't understand why how you got to that conclusion. It should have been
like as bright and colorful as possible. Which I think certain scenes were. I think Emerald City looked great. But then like when they're like at Shiz, like it seems like devoid of color. But yeah, that's my number 2 pick. I also think just like in terms of like movies that I watched from this year that I'm gonna revisit over and over again, like Wicked's gonna come out and I know I'm gonna watch that at least once a year, you know? Like that's just gonna become like one of those movies
so long.
For me. Yeah, but I can easily.
And there's gonna be another movie which I guarantee you will probably be even longer than this one.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
That's just for me, you know, I stand by that, and other people don't have to feel that way. And I'm not saying it's the best movie of the year, personally. Like, I don't think that. Yeah. But, you know, for me personally.
You think they're going to get him to do it whenever they do the Hamilton musical? I can't imagine this wouldn't have gotten him the job.
Well, he also has, like, a good relationship with Lin-Manuel Miranda, too, because of In the Heights.
He did the In the Heights, yeah.
Yes. So, maybe, but I also don't think a Hamilton musical is going to be coming... Or Hamilton
they could, or they could get the guy who did Cats.
Absolutely not. Don't even kid about that.
Well, he did Les Mis, and Les Mis was okay.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, I know. Depends who you ask. I thought it was fine. That's a bold statement. I thought it was fine. I actually
don't mind Les Mis, but I think there's a lot of valid complaints about people not liking Les Mis.
Look, I'm not trying to dunk on the guy. I just think Cats.
He's made some.
Cats was a misstep for everybody. It's all right.
There was a lot of famous people involved in Cats.
I know.
It's kind of crazy.
It's too big to fail.
Yeah. Cats, that was like a social experiment anyway, but that's my number 2.
All right. So, my number 2, I thought this was going to be in your top 3. I'm surprised it's not. Enora?
This was one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
This is
spoil
one of the
your
ones,
honorable mention.
Well, we'll get to the honorable mentions, but I mean, this was one of the ones where I was like, I feel like it easily could have been, and it asked me on a different day, and it might be.
Okay. Yeah, so, Enora was just, I don't know, look, before this, I was not Sean Baker pilled. I was not huge in the Sean Baker verse. But you know what? I might be now.
Okay.
I might be now. So, it's about, I don't know, what's the proper way to say her occupation?
A sex worker?
Yeah, okay. I was about to say no.
What does the letterbox
I was talking
say?
about stripper first.
Oh.
Because is that technically sex work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it not?
I don't know. I thought that might have been a different classification. I thought like sex work was
a young sex worker from Brooklyn.
Okay.
That's what the Letterboxd synopsis says. So.
Look, I'm not trying to split hairs on the linguistics of this. I just mean like, so it's about her and like what this 19, 20-year-old Russian boy is like, let's get married. And then they get married and fucking chaos ensues. When I saw the trailer for this, I was just like, this is not really interesting to me. The trailer doesn't really give away what the movie's actually about, which I think is good. Because
Are we going to talk about what the movie's actually about?
I think this one's new enough that I kind of don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to get people to watch. But basically, like, there's a point maybe about, like, a little bit before the halfway or at about the halfway mark where the movie, like, changes what it's about, kind of. And then I thought that was really interesting. And it's also extremely funny.
It's a very funny
It's, like,
movie.
so funny.
Yeah.
Which I guess I should have expected, because the guy did comedies before this.
Oh, did he?
I don't know. He did a A24 movie called Red Rocket about, like, a porn star.
Yes. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
I know I watched it after this. It's also pretty good. So, look, I'm Sean Bakerpill. I'm there now for him. Yeah. No, every day of the week.
I also really liked Nora. Like I said, this easily also could have asked me on a different day, and this might be my 2 or 3 for the year.
Shot nicely, also.
It looks beautiful. It's so funny until I don't want to say what happens, but you get to the end, and it's like
super fucking sad.
Which honestly, I will say, watching it, I was like, "There's no way this is gonna end well." But like watching it play out, it's like heartbreaking.
What it also doesn't end like it doesn't end like it could have ended worse.
It doesn't end with like a bang. It ends with like a thud.
And it's like ugh.
It like
anyway. So it
hurts.
Look, I just think it's a really good movie.
This
so if
is
you
another one that's getting a lot of Oscar buzz.
No, this won the Palme d'Or.
Yeah, this is gonna get nominated for a lot of stuff.
I would imagine.
Mikey Madison's honestly the whole cast. Mikey Madison's great. I don't know the Russian actor's name, but he is hilarious.
No, he did great. No,
every time he spoke, I was laughing. Like he was so funny.
Look, I'm not pretty on the money with Oscars usually, but I would be surprised if this didn't sweep. Or didn't win.
Oh, really?
Well, I think this is going to be the or not the fan favorite, like the popular contender for a lot of stuff.
Yes, I think that this has a good shot. I also think that this Oscar season is gearing up to be an unpredictable one.
Yeah, I was about to say, what else would there be? Sing Sing and Nora.
Sing Sing. Nickel Boys hasn't really come out yet, but that's supposedly really good.
I had a chance to see Nickel Boys and I didn't get to see it, so I...
Oh, I thought you were going to say you saw it. No. I read that book in college and it's incredible.
A book? Yeah.
It is a book. I really want to see that movie. I've been like, I listen. Awards are not everything. Awards do not define what is the best movie or whatever.
We'll talk about...
That being said, I love awards season.
No, I know. The Oscars...
I'm so pumped up for the Oscars. And I try and make my guesses and figure out what's going on and who's going to win what. It's so fun.
I feel like we're in the fucking Capitol in like... surrounded by all the districts in the Hunger Games.
We'll probably do some sort of Oscar special DVD on what exactly that'll look like.
I know. I'm just trying to think about what else could even be like best movie of the year contenders. But
Conclave's getting a lot of buzz.
Conclave probably.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2. We'll talk about maybe because I think we definitely do have the same number.
I think our number one.
So we'll talk about that when it comes in a second.
I don't think our number one's gonna win.
No, I don't think our number one's gonna be there.
Oh, at all?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
maybe, but I don't.
So did you finish saying everything you wanted to about Anora?
I really, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
It's awesome.
You're getting really, nuanced takes here on the podcast.
Like, one of the most well-reviewed movies of the year. We're like, yeah, good.
Yeah, I think that's good. I like that it looked pretty.
It's funny.
I'm struggling to talk today, too. So it's like...
You're starting to get hot?
No, I'm struggling to talk today.
Oh.
So I'm sure that's making the podcast extra listenable.
They wouldn't have these troubles on Talk To.
They wouldn't. Mm-mm. So I guess we do honorable mentions.
Should we get to our honorable mentions?
Yeah, we should.
Okay. So I already mentioned Anora was one of mine. Great, love it. Another one for me. Wait, I had to write them down because I think I had like 3.
Oh, wait, you're doing multiple honorable mentions?
Yeah, I was just going to like...
Oh, shit. I didn't know we were doing that. Well, let me... I mean, we're not going to pause. I'm going to think of them while you go.
I was just going to quick fire. Yeah, okay. Anora. Saturday Night, I think I mentioned that when I saw it. I just am a big Saturday Night Live fan, and I love the history of it. So that movie, for me... Another one kind of like Wicked, where I'm like, I'm not saying that was the greatest movie of the year, but like just personally very much my niche. Loved it. Very excited to watch it. I also really liked We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. That was a great one. Made me cry.
Yeah.
Shout out to the hot men in cinema this year. I'm talking Paul Mescal and Gladiator 2.
Oh my god.
I'm talking, it was a Glenn Powell summer in Twisters and Hitman.
We've mentioned like a hot guy for like an extended period of time on like the past like 5 episodes.
I just wanted to give him a little shout out, you know?
All right.
I was like, I feel like that's becoming my thing and I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, that's what you're known for?
Also, Ryan Gosling in The Fall Guy.
I didn't see The Fall Guy.
I actually didn't until like Thanksgiving. I watched it with my parents.
But he's hot in it?
Actually, like, not particularly, but, like, he's just, I feel like him and Glenn Powell are both, like, if you just showed me a picture of them, like, I'd kind of be like, whatever, but they're just so charismatic, you know? Like,
fair enough.
How can you not like them? You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Anyway.
All right, well, I guess I gotta spitfire out.
Spitfire, go.
My honorable mentions. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. That came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Trap, purely, okay, well, actually, I'm gonna pair that up with Megalopolis, because it's like, what are we doing, guys? Because it's like...
I thought you loved Trap.
I do love Trap, and I also love Megalopolis, in the sense that it's like, guys, what are we doing?
Okay.
It's just, Megalopolis, I can't, again, I'm speechless. Movies that leave me speechless deserve a rating.
Fair enough.
Even if it's for confounding reasons, I don't know.
Sure.
What else we got here? Yeah, I'll throw Terrifier 3 on there. Fuck it. They're getting...
Okay.
Every single time they do a new one of these, they get a little bit better. And you know what? I appreciate the hustle, and I always like watching that freaky little clown shake his ass a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about all I want to say. I think for honorable mentions... Yeah, nice. I'm trying to see. I don't think there's any other major movies this year for me. I guess Dune, whatever. I was
kind of surprised. I thought you might bring up Dune.
It's like Dune. It's like... It's good when I'm there, but it's like I'm not like a Dune hyper fan. I'm not.
Some people love Dune.
I know some people are obsessed with Dune. I'm not like super obsessed.
I read the Dune book. I can't believe I did that. You guys, that was the most boring book.
Okay, this is gonna be really embarrassing, but I bought the Dune book with the full intention to read it. I opened it up, ran into like words that I like was. It's like, it doesn't explain. I flipped to the back. There's a dictionary of Dune-related specific terms, and I was like, I can't do this. No, there's literally like an appendix. I was like, I can't do this.
No,
I put the book down,
and as someone who read it, I actually don't... I feel like this is the type of thing that normally I'd make fun of you for, but I actually don't blame you at all. And I like, can't believe that I actually read that whole book.
I was like, whoa.
Anyway, should we share our number one movie of the year?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1... Challengers.
It's Challengers.
Yes!
Yeah, okay.
You guys, I have not stopped thinking about this movie since I saw it. And when did it come out? Like March, April?
No, yeah, it's like
it is constantly on my mind.
I am hard pressed to find a movie that's taken up this much.
Like
anybody I talk to that's seen it, they're like, it's just in my mind constantly.
It's so good. Like this, like it fires me up. Like after watching Challengers, I feel like I want to run a marathon. I want to learn to play tennis. I want to make a movie. It's so good. It's like, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, like, it would so not appeal to me. And like from the trailers, it's like what? It's like the Zendaya threesome movie. That's what it's known for.
That's kind of what it looked like it was going to be.
And then, I mean, it is that movie. It is that movie, sort of.
But also, it's so much is going on.
If you guys somehow don't know, it's like Zendaya and two ratty little boys are
you don't know what
tennis players.
About. What are we doing? What are you doing here?
And like, it's just really good. It's just really, really good. It's exciting to watch. Every scene is like 10 out of 10. I can't think of a bad scene in that movie.
There's no bad parts of the movie. There's so much cool stuff going on with the camera. Like, it's just, they were like, let's just go crazy. What if we just did whatever the hell we wanted to do?
The soundtrack absolutely rips.
Oh my god, I've been going on a lot of runs lately, and like, I listen to the challenge, not every time I go on a run, but like, sometimes I listen to the Challenger soundtrack. It is so good, because it's like, it's not like your typical like movie score. It's like,
it's like club music.
Techno, but like club music, yeah.
It's so weird.
It's so good.
It's like, I am hard pressed to find a movie that is a home run in every category, but it's like genuinely a home run in every category.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I was on the edge of my seat for the entire movie. When we rewatched it, I was still, like, the whole time, like, oh my gosh, like, this is incredible. This is amazing. I can't believe I get to watch this.
I don't know why I feel like this, but I just don't feel like it's going to get recognition at the Oscars.
I think it'll get nominations in some categories. I don't think it's going to go completely unrecognized. I don't think it's going to win much.
I don't think it's going to
win.
Or
possibly anything.
Have you seen his new movie, Queer?
I have not yet.
I haven't yet, but I've heard it's also not like Challengers. And I will say the only other Luca Guadagnino movie I've seen is his Suspiria remake, and I did not care for it.
Okay.
So,
I haven't seen that, but I've seen Call Me By Your Name and Bones and All. And you guys, he keeps making banger. Like, if he keeps this up, he's like one of my favorites, honestly. One of my favorite people working today. Like,
I haven't seen either of those. Are they like this?
No, honestly, no. This one feels like I could understand how, like, theme-wise, like, it's kind of similar in the kind of things that he likes to explore.
Yeah.
But, like, style-wise, Challengers feels way different. Now, I think that Bones and All and Call Me By Your Name are both, like,
good,
fantastic movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, like, yes, especially Call Me By Your Name. Crazy good movie. But, like, feels way different from, like, Call Me By Your Name is, like, they're, like, in Italy, and they bike around, and then like a tender moment.
That's not what I like about this movie.
Hit the tennis ball and eat the phallic food.
It's like the guys are sticking churros in each other's mouths. I know that sounds. Look, for people who might be listening, that might be wondering how I like this. Mainly, like maybe my parents or somebody. It's like, yeah, no, these guys are sticking churros in each other's mouths. It's just like, but it's so good. Like I think
it's like this really interesting like power play movie where like it's about tennis, but it's also about all their relationships.
Everybody wants to be on top.
They all want to be with each other, yet also better than each other.
And they all hate each other.
Like, both tennis and like life, and like they all do bad things, but they all have valid reasons for acting in those ways. And so like it's impossible to truly pick one side because, well, you know, like, oh, they shouldn't have done that, but like that, like they couldn't help this situation, or like, oh, like, you know what I mean?
I know. It's like I get.
Like there was an interview with Zendaya talking about it where she's basically saying like, you watch it one time and you're on this person's side, and then you watch it again and be like, oh wait, no, they should have like been treated better, like, and it's just like this it's this also beautiful tennis back and forth, like, oh my god, it's so good.
It's also very rewatchable because it zips past.
Yeah. Like I said, on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, oh my god, it's so
good. Yeah, no, it's
good.
Great. It's really great. Here we are babbling over it, but I genuinely...
there's so many camera shots, and like there's a part where like the camera like is the tennis ball. The shot where they're underneath the tennis court. Uh-huh. Crazy. There's like one argument they have where it ping pongs back and forth. Yep. When I saw that, I was like, oh my, like the first time I saw that, I was this is so crazy.
It's genuinely one of those rare times everything came together. It's amazing.
Perfect. Like I think it's a testament that like us with our different tastes and like
it's our both with the movies
movie. We're kind of like, oh, you picked that one, like okay, sure, but like that we both landed on this and are very, very strong. How much we love it. How good it is.
I can't imagine many people who've seen it wouldn't
agree with us.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm so confident that if you saw this movie, like anybody would fucking love it.
I think everyone would love it. I would understand maybe some people had some other number ones for the year, but
maybe. I was gonna say maybe actually can think
this should be in everyone's like top 5 at least.
I would think so, yeah.
Oh my gosh, even just talking about it's getting me like pumped up.
You're blowing out the mic.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm just so excited. I just love Challenge. I love it so much.
All right, I
have to like update my favorite movie list on Letterboxd to put Challengers on it.
You didn't already do that? This movie came out at the beginning of the year.
No, I haven't. I don't think I've updated that list in like a while, but that's fine. This is a good excuse. This is a good reason.
It's in my Letterboxd top 4.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's not on my top 4.
Well, my top 4 rotates pretty frequently.
Okay. I need to put it. I don't know. I don't know if it's top 4.
It's right beside An American Werewolf in London.
It's pretty high up there.
It's like
I love this movie.
We'll see how it stands the test of time within a few years, but this is this might be a certified classic.
It's so good. I think that it will get nominated for a good number of things, but I don't see it winning.
I'm trying to think like an
Challenger's best score. Come on, give it to him.
Oh wait, it genuinely might win that.
I think it should.
I think at the very least,
I genuinely like listen to it while I'm working out. Like, because
no, it's
gets
great
me
music.
pumped up.
It's
it gets
great.
me ready to go, fired up. I guess that's it.
What are we? Okay, we are taking what, like a 2-3 week break?
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of.
We'll be back at
You'll see us when you see us.
Yeah, January. Well, at some time in January.
Yeah, end of January.
And mid-January.
Mid to end of January.
I don't know. We're not gonna promise anything.
No, I know.
How about that?
We're we're just gonna reorganize. We're gonna set our priorities for the podcast, and we're gonna get us so we come back into the new year strong.
We've got some good stuff cooking up.
Do we?
Just good content.
We're
gonna keep making a good podcast.
I'm just kidding. We do have great stuff cooking up.
Tyson's winking at me right now.
Wait, so when we come back, whose movie is it?
It'll be mine, I guess. Oh, but I don't have one picked yet.
You don't have one picked out? I guess it'll be a surprise.
Yep. So you got to stay tuned if you want to know what I'm going to make Tyson watch at the beginning of the year, because I have some ideas, but I have not planned that far ahead. So
email in if there's anything for 2025 you guys would like to see from the podcast.
Yeah, whether it's a certain movie or if you have any ideas about stuff we should be including. Do you like Teeny Tiny Movie Corner? Do you hate it? Should we do a Q&A?
Listen, kill your darlings. I will amputate any part of this podcast.
This is a living, moving, breathing thing, you know?
It's a living, breathing document.
We're of the people, you know? But that being said, hope you all had a great 2024. Thank you for listening to us this year.
Thank you for...
We're on a solid 6 months now.
Starting our podcast journey.
That's very exciting. We really appreciate it.
Every now and then I see my YouTube, because I subscribe to our podcast on YouTube now. Mm-hmm. Every now and then I get also a very obscure movie podcast picking up in my feed, and it'll be like the 333rd episode, and it'll be 12 viewers, and I'll be like, is that our future?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Only time can tell.
Only time will tell.
But for now, we are continuing, and we're excited to see you in the new year. But
we're gonna shake some ass. We're gonna get a little down, and we're gonna get a little dirty, and we're gonna podcast.
Try and make Tyson do some TikTok dances.
I absolutely not.
We'll see.
Okay, so let me take us out of here. You can find us on all of your social media platforms pretty much now at shutupandwatchpod, except the Letterboxd, which is just Shut Up and Watch. So that includes TikTok, YouTube, Shut Up and Watch the Movie, Instagram. You know, sometimes we're posting funny little clips, edited to some funny little graphics. Sometimes we're making some TikToks, showing off the closet. What else do we do? We just have fun. We live. We breathe. We live, laugh,
love.
We
just kind of update the podcast.
Yeah, we mostly post when we have new episodes. Thank you to Ronan Lilly for the edit, Justin Hicklin for our song, and Bailey Johnson for our logo. If you leave a review, I'll read it out on the podcast. In fact, let's do a quick little search on my cellular telephone to see if anybody's left a new review for me to read out. And I'm talking good or bad. You could say anything, I'll read it word for word, unless you say something that I can't say on the podcast without getting in trouble. In which case, no new reviews. That's all right. But you know what?
We should start checking that before we.
No, I think it's part of the. I think it's part of the fun.
Okay.
I think it's part of the fun. I guess until I start reading a review that is horrible in mid podcast, and I have to be like, oh.
I'd be like, maybe I don't want to read this one.
Make sure you guys share the podcast around. Leave a positive review or a negative review. Leave 5 stars. And I think that's about what we do.
Amazing.
I guess we won't do our little bit where we talk about sharing it with somebody, because we don't have a movie to reference.
You will win your tennis championship.
You'll have a homoerotic relationship with your best male friend, and then a highly intense sexual relationship with your female tennis partner.
I was gonna say, unless you're the female, and then there'll be 2 guys fighting over you, but they're actually in love with each other.
Insane.
But also you, still.
All right.
Happy holidays. We'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, I'm talking happy Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy
You're gonna list
Kwanzaa.
off all the holidays now.
Yeah, because I want everybody to feel included.
Okay. Well, that's why I just said the blanket statement. Happy holidays.
I know, but I'm not going to give you a blanket statement. I'm going to get down in the nitty gritty of it. And
now you're gonna miss some really niche holiday, and then we're gonna get canceled, and someone's gonna be
Is
mad.
there something? Listen, if Blue's Clues only does Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, I remember this. They had a Blue's Clues episode, and this is how I learned about the holidays, because they had one where Blue and Steve look around their neighborhood and they celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa.
We gotta stop talking about children's TV shows with blue dogs.
All right, goodbye. Goodbye.